All right, welcome back to Daytime Tri-Cities. Having so much fun this morning here at Food City. And of course, this weekend is all about love and romance and flowers. But there's also a pretty big game going on this weekend. And of course, lots of people planning those gatherings. We have Kirby Moir here, registered dietitian with Food City. Kirby, thanks so much for meeting us out here today.
Thanks for having me.
There is a big game also going on this weekend. And of course, so many family gatherings. And gotta incorporate a little fruit, little veggie, right?
That's right. Yeah, I'm gonna give you some quick tips today too. Kind of some lighter options and some things that Food City just makes so easy to put together.
Oh, I love it. And you're starting with what I said, this would be where I would navigate at a party. This looks absolutely beautiful. We're talking about nachos.
Nachos. And I always like to kind of give this little tip to start with. These are actually from the Bakery Deli. The chips from Food City cannot be beat.
Yeah, they're amazing.
They're delicious, and they're actually not crazy high in salt, which is super nice. Yep, so we're kind of seasoning those in-house. And the other thing that we've sneaked in there is very thinly cut zucchini and squash. Nice. You can do shortcuts for that, so look for that in your produce, and then a little bit of bell peppers. Really, whatever kind of toppings you like. The reason I love this, we put foil down at the bottom, so when everyone's done, it's fresh out of the oven, you have your cheese, you have your salsa, you're just gonna roll that foil up, easy cleanup.
Oh, I like that.
And lots of veggies, again, that we can just kind of stack and sneak in there. And I used beans today as kind of a little bit of fiber, a little bit of protein, but we're not really getting that heaviness maybe from doing, you know, a ground meat or something like that.
And you've got that cilantro on top, so it just gives such flavor.
Yes, and I like spice, so a little bit of serrano in there, and then some avocado or guacamole. That would be great to kind of pair this with as well.
Nice. So you're just going to pop that in the oven?
Yep. And I like to kind of crank it about 400 for 10 to 15 minutes until that cheese gets melty. And you can always sneak back in a little extra cheese at the end to get that extra decadence, you know, going on.
It's dairy.
Yeah, right? That's right. Yeah,
cheese is dairy.
Yes,
some dairy.
And we talked about the reduced fat. So we did that 2% today. So a little bit lighter. Still going to give, again, that creamy cheesiness, which is great.
Because we're going to graze.
Yes.
You know, during the big game, we kind of eat our way through the quarters, right?
Yes.
All right, let's talk about dips, because this is a big deal. Everybody loves different dips.
We love dips. And I know you guys have had some dietitians on, and all we talk about is Greek yogurt. We love Greek yogurt. It's just so simple. Yes, and a great alternative for sour cream. This is actually probably my favorite dip I make, because it is 3 ingredients: garlic, yogurt, and oil.
Ooh.
And people are going to be like, no, there's something else in there. That is actually it. You can add your own herbs. This is actually cold, so you can prep this the night before.
Oh, okay.
You just saute a little garlic that goes into the dish, and then this is just sliced garlic that you crisp up in a pan.
Oh.
I like it with vegetables.
Okay.
Right? But you can also, if you have a little bit of chips left over, and these are great in the produce section. They're actually carrot chips. They look like a chip. You get the crunch. Very easy to dip. And again, we're getting that fresh vegetable added into our typical spread that we might see.
And they're heavy, and it's okay to get a little extra dip because it's Greek yogurt.
That's right. Yeah, you don't even feel bad about it.
Because usually dips are really, you got to be weary. You know?
Yes, and if you like sour cream, really, I tell people, if you blind taste test, you're probably not going to tell the difference at all, right? So more protein, lowering our fat, and we just, again, light little option, which is fantastic.
All right, and we're using that for our kind of shrimp sauce.
Yes, and Food City, I think, does a great job with the proteins, especially when you need to plan for a big crowd. This is actually already cooked in store. Again, I want to be hanging out with people, enjoying the game. If you're getting ready for Valentine's Day too, you might not want to spend a lot of time in the kitchen. So Precook Shrimp, which does come with the sauce, but I use Greek yogurt, a little bit of sriracha, and then a sweet chili sauce. I do put a little pepper in there to let my guests know that it's spicy.
And I think that's a great idea, because people always ask you, like, I'm a little nervous, so this tells them there's a little kick to it.
And if you don't like spice, you can just omit the sriracha or the hot sauce, and then it's just going to be a sweet and tangy option there.
Love it.
It's fantastic.
Okay, and these look so fun.
Yes, and this is another little cooking hack. So if you're using a lighter like lean meat, or even like a ground turkey or ground chicken to make meatballs, the issue is they fall apart because they're so low in fat. So a couple things I recommend. I didn't do this today, but if you grate the onion, it gets a really small amount to add in. So what happens is that kind of gives you a little moisture, and you're going to want to cook it in a muffin pan.
Oh, which is great.
Yes, and as the fat kind of renders out, it actually cooks a little bit in that fat, and they come out in a perfect circle. So they look beautiful, and then you can always pair that with either similar to like a sweet chili sauce or using a barbecue sauce and throw that in a crock pot. But again, wanted to show you that pan today for how beautiful those come out of the oven. They just look fantastic.
Wonderful. And then you pick up your veggie tray.
Yes.
And you're set and ready to go.
And fruit trays, all the party trays down in that bakery deli. I think this is nice to have on hand, and we can always use that for our garlic dip as well. Looks great, comes with a couple dips, but you can make your own.
All right, well, I think you did a fantastic job. What do you think, crowd? Crowd loves it. I'm coming to your party. All right, we're going to take a break. We'll be back to wrap things up right after this.